Hey, it's Joe Mullings. It's Untitled and Unfiltered. So a lot of job sort of pondering going on right now. People are either furloughed, straight up let go, and I'm not sure what the technical difference is. I think it's window dressing. And some people are working from home. And big shout out there. So how's that working from home thing going? I think romantically the first 3 days were cool. But after that, the number of phone calls that I've had, who people are saying, I can't wait to get back to the office. It's very, very interesting. So it's like a hobby that you make the hobby your job, and suddenly the hobby sucks, right? So, and again, the people online who are working from home and claiming they're just as productive while the cat's laying on the keyboard and you take a picture of it, and the golden retriever's sitting on your lap while you're trying to work on your laptop and you take a picture of it, or you're running her outside and videotaping it. You're not doing yourself any service on that. So just a heads up, note to yourself, you're creating a body of evidence that those who are evaluating or watching closely, just note. But I don't think a lot of you are going to care. A majority of you now can't wait to get back to work, wait to get back to your crew, your camaraderie. And then those who aren't going to get back to work, or those who are consciously right now have made a decision or are on the precipice of making a decision. Let's talk about what you need to think about on career choices. So I'm going to make this as tactical and strategic as I can for you. I believe over my 30 years and thousands of counseling sessions on people of careers, there are 4 things that you have to think about when you look at making a job move or a career move. So if you're going to change careers, these principles hold true. If you're going to change jobs, these principles hold true. And I'd get a piece of paper right now. If you're driving, don't. Write on the windshield to get out your lipstick. There's four pillars. The first pillar is the market. We'll come back to each of these in detail. The second pillar is the product or service. The third pillar is the leadership. And the fourth pillar is the mission. So 4 pillars. Let's look at the first one. The first pillar of market. As you do these evaluations, there's 2 timelines you have to think about for these. Anybody who tells you what's your 5-year plan is not living in the 21st century, because the acceleration of technology and the acceleration of services are changing so dramatically. In the past, they used to be sort of a slope like that up till about 2008. And you can go back in time and check when a lot of the things changed. It came around the personalization and the power use of the iPhone and personal devices and technologies in 2008. Things started to do this. You started to have this acceleration of technology. So it's impossible to have a plan of any legitimacy more than 3 years out. So as you look at your career choices, you want to look at markets today, and then you want to look at markets 3 years out. And today, the value of it should be a 3. 10 years out, the value of it should be a 10 on a scale of 10. So the point there is your decisions should need to be looking forward 3 years from now. What's the viability of that market? So as I look at a market, I look at a couple things. I look at what technology does it revolve around? And is that technology a rapidly accelerating technology, or is it a flat technology? And why is it important to ask that question? It's important to ask that question because when you have a rapidly accelerating technology, things are changing quickly. Therefore, there are more opportunities, because as you do product and service development, there are more jobs that need to happen or more consulting gigs that need to happen. So pick a market that has rapidly changing technology. And now the product in that, let me give you an example. The product in that may not change a lot. Let's say cardboard boxes. The cardboard box hasn't changed much in 100 years, but the way they're manufactured changes a lot. meaning the automation of that, meaning the supply chain of that, meaning the way it's sold. So that transition has changed a lot. So it's not what we make, it's how we do it. Now, there are other technologies where it's rapidly changing technology, and that does make a big difference. So make sure as you look at the market you're going into, you're projecting out how is technology going to influence the opportunities in this market. So as an example, here's another example, the mortgage market. We're in the middle of COVID right now, and the way that houses have been sold, 20 plus people had to touch that deal. Title companies, mortgage companies, bankers, insurers, etc. And those typically are, you've sat in closings before, most of you have. You've got to sign an analog piece of paper. You've got to show up with your license. You've got to have paperwork exchange hands, literally still analog in nature. That mortgage company, that real estate company business is going to change dramatically over the next few years. It's just what side of that are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the old analog side of it? Or are you going to be creating a product and or offering a service that's on the advancing of that technology side? So that's one, market. Look at the market. Where's the market going to be 3 years from now? Second, what company in particular are you going to work for? Or what product do you plan on specifically working on? So establish that the market is healthy and robust, and then pick a company and a product that maps to the success of that market. So you can have a market that's incredibly robust, but you might be working for a company who is not creating a product that's going to address that market or the speed of acceleration of technology of that market. So let's go back to the mortgage and the house buying business. Look at Quicken. Quicken started out, if I'm not mistaken, as a software company basically for ledgers for accountants. And now I think they're, if not the biggest, one of the biggest mortgage companies in the world, and also moving into loaning, financing. I think they will also even have SBA products too. So there's an organization that was in a product family that then created a technology that addressed that. So that's the company and the technology in the market. So that's the second part you have to think through is market healthy? Cool. Company and product? Cool. But does it address where the market's going? So that's pillar number 2. Pillar number 3, leadership. This may be the most important. Who you go to work for ultimately may decide who you become. Who you surround yourself with is who you become. So I have been fortunately involved in many, many great teams over my lifetime. Created some of them, was part of some of them, and watched some of them. And you could have directed that team at doing anything. Opening up a box store, creating a docuseries, opening up a diner. That team could have done anything. And so who you go to work for really does matter more than the product, more than the market. If I had a force rank, that could be number 1. So before you jump into something, investigate who it is that you're going to be working with. Look around, look to your left, look to your right. If they don't allow you to really thoroughly examine that, you might have some challenges moving forward. That could be an enormous blind spot because there's been tons of companies that have great products, great companies, great market, but leadership either lack trust, integrity, work ethic, or the ability to collaborate. So make sure you really look at that leadership team that you're going to be surrounded with. And then finally, mission. The mission is not the product you make or the market you're in or about the people you work for, but the mission is why do you show up every day? Again, because it's easier for me. I am not in the video business. I am not in the media business. I am not in the podcast business. I'm in the business of translating a message that teaches, inspires, informs, and builds. I just happen to be sitting here as a way to convey it. My mission has always been to teach and build and inspire. This is just how it facilitates itself. And it probably is going to be different in 3 years from now. But my mission is to teach, build, and inspire. And that allows me to have longevity in what I'm doing. There are some of you that pop in and out of careers or pop in and out of jobs. And one of the reasons why you do that is you don't believe in what you're doing. But more so, you don't believe in why you're doing it. So you can manifest your mission through a bunch of different vehicles. Over my life, I've been an engineer, I've been a gangster, I've been a headhunter, I've been an executive producer, I've been a coach in the UFC, strength and conditioning coach. And it took me a couple of years to realize that all those things, my mission was to build, teach, and inspire. And was super successful in all of them. So make sure the mission you pick gets facilitated through those other three. Because otherwise you'll bounce from thing to thing to thing, blaming everybody else, but you never believed in the game you signed up for. So as you think through these next couple of weeks and these next couple of years and these next couple of decades, keep that equation in mind. And thoroughly examine each of the 4 pillars. Is the market I'm in or looking to go in going to have legs? Is the product and service going to be able to support that market need? The people I'm going to hang with, am I going to like them? I don't have to love them. Am I like them? Do I like them? And do I want to sort of become some of them or have them rub off on me? And then finally, the mission. I couldn't imagine going through life, going to a job every day. And that's a choice. This has been Joe Mullings, Untitled and Unfiltered.